Alright. If somebody's there, how's it going? I have 0 HP, okay? So, we're going to talk softly today. Maple ASMR. Alright. I might cough a lot. If I cough too much, I'll either quit or cut the sound, I guess. Alright. So I've gone forward and done a couple of change. First thing first, we now have directories that are implemented, which is cool. And I'm starting to implement views. If people hop in the stream, I'll explain what the fuck they are, but right now, I'm not going to bother, because I know I'll re-explain them whenever somebody jumps on. So, without further ado, let's resume the implementation of views. So I've implemented the table side of things in the table engine type of side of things. So both are fully implemented. Now, what we need to implement is the, well, I'm a liar. The commit side of things was not implemented yet, and the DB side of things not implemented yet. So let's get started with the DB side of things. So the DB side of things needs two things. It needs a select and an insert for our views. Now, thinking about it, maybe we don't need an insert side of things, and it should fully be handled by the table engine. But who the fuck am I to think about these things? So let's do a view select. Alright, let's create the command that will parse all of that shit in order to be able to seek the DB. Give me a second. We're back. Okay. So let's go take a look at how views actually work for like 5 seconds. Like I said, I'm not doing the full explanation right now. So we have tables and we have data. Now let's just go and look at the documentation that I've so gracefully created so I don't forget whatever the hell I've implemented. So here is what is inside of a view. So the first thing that we have is a tuple containing multiple tuples. Well, one or more tuple. And it contains the starting column and table and the target column and table. So you can think of each of these as inner joins for from a specific table to another table, and it dictate the equal here that we have, right? So we need to be able to parse those and create inner joins out of them. But not only that, we then need to parse that data in order to get reasonable values. So that data is essentially a big concatenated get, right? So our nuns should be the ID that we are seeking to find, and the other things should be the values that we, well, want to check if they're already in the DB. So we will need to arrange them correctly. So let's get on with that. So the first thing that we want to do is to create our select statement and to make it make sense. You know what, let's put that here. I think it makes more sense for the three tables that, well, the three modules that work together to be side by side. So a big thing that we need to keep in mind here is that we can, within this structure, call the same table multiple times, right? We can say that MAST to M container is called like 6 times. That's a possible thing. Wait, I'm retarded. No, let me reword that. We won't call it multiple times, but we could have multiple values have the same ID. Let me explain. If you have, for example, AST include, you're going to have an AST ID. You're probably going to have a rank value, and you're going to have a file name ID. Now, you're going to need both of those. Like, you're going to need multiple of those in order to make it make sense. I guess it doesn't work with includes. I'm a bit retarded today. It works with container, okay? So container, you might have multiple things within container, so multiple things with the same ID, but with a different order number. So yeah, we need to account for those as well. So we're gonna need to use concat, and I have no fucking idea how to make it work correctly, so we're going to have fun with that. And because of that special little thing, we need to keep in mind that we may have some names that may fuck SQL up. So that's why we're going to use aliases in order to store our shit. Alright. Let's fucking go. I'm a bit confused about this one. How the fuck does this work? Yeah. Yeah, we are missing a bit of things here. Alright. Okay. Now this makes sense. Okay. So let's create our statement. So the first thing that I want to do here is to be able to set all of these things. Do I even want to set all of these things? Let me use this command and try to think about it inside of PHP. Because maybe we can just start the fuck out of it and it will work, I guess. I'm just a little bit schizo. I want to make sure that I'm not on mute. And talking to myself like a goddamn idiot. Alright. So let's just come back and do it again, but with a star to see if it makes sense. Does it make sense? It's the same thing. So we could be lazy here. Yeah. Who gives a shit? Let's be lazy and use this. Yeah. I like this. Alright. Let's put it here to remember it, because it's way better than it was. Okay. So let's start by having a fucking idea how those joins work. So let's loop through each iterations in order to process them. So we can do for join in joins. Oh man, maybe I need to put my fucking Gigabrain at on and start thinking about a way to make this mappable. Oh man, I'm so cancerous. No, let's not even think about it. I'm so optimized brain. It's disgusting. Sorry. Okay, this one may technically change someday. I don't think so, but we gotta make sure. So now we are within the join. So let's go see. How these items work. Okay, so it gives us a GP ID if we go on 0 again, which is what we want. So let's go on 0 again. Now we have a GP ID, which means that we should be able to do table and open this at this index and then do dot. What is it? It's table name, right? Yeah, table name. So this should give us the table name. Easy. Okay. So now we need to iterate through each of them. Let's fucking go. So what we want to create is this. So let's do SQL plus equal. And I'm sure we can be smart enough to be able to find all of that shit. Alright. So let's actually find this shit. Alright, so we are going to use join here. Fuck. Okay, keep in mind, join is one level down from joins, so we only need this in order to get the GP ID, the table number, right? And now we should be able to get the table name using the same technique. Here we go. So right now, like magic, we have the fucking table name. Good job, retards. Now here, we need some kind of fucking magical values. You know what? We need an index. And we need the magical command called enumerate or iterate or enumerate or whatever it is. Okay, so we should be able to do A, and here we put the value of I plus 1. That should be fairly easy. That makes sense. We love it. And then we are making a join. Now that's a hard one because there is multiple possibilities. So we may want to join. Wait. No. We probably only want to join on A1. Always. That's kind of disgusting. But you know what? I'll fucking get onto it. I don't like that idea. Because it feels like the relationship that we put inside of join is not respected. Which is fucking retarded. Alright. Maybe we can loop through the different tables that we join. So what we could do is create a value called first arg join. And then true and if can do if join 0 0. Sorry, my brain's having a hard time. So if the table we're starting from is equal to will I survive? Give me a moment. God, I hate having my nose clogged. Alright, so if our current join that we're using that should go here is the same table as our, we could say our root table, our original from table, we should just do A1 dot and get the table name, get the column name. You sound really sick. I kinda am, but I'm very happy to be here right now. Even if I have no voice. I mean, working in a call center with lost voice is the worst fucking thing ever. So today, being off the job is fucking awesome. By the way, thank you for being here. I hope it's going well on your side, Vault. How's life, brother? Alright, I don't remember how to get the name of a column. I think that's the way. Yeah, that's the way. Alright, I remember how to get the name of a column. Alright, so we should do this. Init column. We get the values from value 1 and of the join. And I guess we can get the table like this. God damn, that's some recursive bullshit right here. I love it. Alright, this should give us the name. Like that part. So now we can implement this here. What a marvelous little nifty thing. But now we need to prepare for the fact that people are retarded. And there's going to be that one guy that fucks me over and uses this shit wrong. So let's go through the most cancerous bullshit I've ever seen. You gotta love them loops. Alright. That's going to require a lot of my brain. And by a lot of my brain, I mean absolutely fucking nothing because I'm a stud. I'm having way the fuck too much fun. Alright, how do I emergency exit the fuck out of there? Hello MB, how's it going? Happy to see you here. What a fucking fucked print, indeed. This is the print of all frustrations. Alright, this shouldn't be here, this should be over here. I feel like I have the voice of, you know, the painter dude that's always calm. So we're gonna paint some pretty little trees. Some smiley little clouds. Bob Ross, that's it. But it does work, okay? My voice is still carrying on. Oh fuck, we need to enumerate. You know, now that I've noted down enumerate, I never fucking watch it. I just remember it, which is kinda triggering. But hey. It's part of life. Violent virus. Emu got there? I'm confused by that sentence. My daughter just is a bioweapon. Will you transmit it to us? You don't want this, okay? I gotta say, here's my confessional, okay? I feel so fucking bad because last week I went and saw my grandma and I was so fucking excited because it's been like a very long time. So I went there like for a good 3 hours before my daughter got out of the kindergarten. And when I got there, like we talked, it was all fun. And then when it was time to get my daughter, I got my daughter. I bring her to show it to them. To show her to them. And like we're having fun. She's being a little baby, right? She starts coughing. And I'm like, bro, you're at the... First of all, you didn't cough this morning, you bitch. Second of all, you're in the worst fucking place to cough. I got two 80 years old that are going to fucking die. GG's, indeed. So when I heard her cough for a second time, I was like, I love you guys, but there's no fucking way that I'm going to tell my daughter that she fucking killed her grandparents. So I got the fuck out. And since then, I feel awfully fucking bad, even though there's not much that I could have done. I don't want to be responsible for grandpa or grandma's death, okay? That ain't it, okay? That ain't it. Not what I want. So, yeah. That's the feeling. I'm just trying to see if I'm doing something retarded right now. GG's. I don't know why that's so funny. Oh my god. I'm not a good guy, okay? GG's. Alright. Wait, that's retarded. That's the wrong thing, retard. Sorry. But anyway, how are you guys doing? I don't want it. I want to know if I stop to watch in fear of catching it. You won't catch it, brother. You need a fucking dangerous 2-year-old, an absolute unit, in order to be infected. Gotta love them 2-year-olds. Okay. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing right now. I'm just doing shit. Just like. And it's supposed to work, I guess. What the fuck do I need target for? You stupid idiot. Oh, for the Y. Alright, that's fair. That's very fair. Alright, so this part is finished, right? I don't have to worry about this anymore. Alright, let's worry about this part. So, I need this type of heresy over here. But here I gotta do this and this. Right, that's the meme. That's some strong fucking meme right there. Alright, I love it. Alright. You know what? Give me half a second. I'll be back. God damn. I'll talk about that in a quick minute. I don't know if you can hear fucking ice just scraping the window. It's unhinged. I'll be back. I will be back. I like that these days I like to be wrong. Because each time I'm wrong, I fucking learn something. This morning I was like, why the fuck is there salt on the street? It's not as if we're going to have ice anytime soon. We're done with ice. And what do you see? Right now it's the most suicidal ice-laden water that is spraying my window. The roads are going to be an absolute mess, and the city was right. God, I love them. They're just so good. Alright, what am I doing here? Okay, I'm not alone, good. Wanted to be sure. I don't think I've explained what the fuck I'm doing. Do you want a quick explainer, MB? Because I've literally done some documentation over here for what the fuck I'm doing, which is kind of cute. I'll do it anyway, okay? So, not alone. Explain yourself. Alright. Alright. So views are a thing that I pulled out of my ass. They are a good start. They are created for the AST tables, which requires uniqueness across multiple tables, but doesn't on any single one. So let's go on an example here. So we have MAST, right? That's one of our table. It has an AST ID, it has a name, it has a type ID. Now, technically, it would be possible to have the same name and type ID on a different AST ID. That's a valid thing. So you could have something like my struck 2 times, but that points to different structs that are called my struck. And here we have the MAST container, which the same rules apply, right? We could see, like, let's say that we have an int index that is the first value of a struct on 2 different structs. That could happen. That's normal, and we need to accept that. But if we join the 2 together, that's not allowed, right? We cannot have an MAST with all of its MAST containers like under the same AST ID. Like that big construct, we cannot have duplicates of the big construct, right? Of the join of these 2 together. So that's where fucking views come in. Now I've called them views just because of your spiel. I have no fucking idea what views are in reality because I have not used them. But I wanted a cool name and I thought that it was a good name, alright? So views work by encoding the join relationship between the table inside of a list of tuple, and then giving the values that we want to find. So let's go into it. So the first argument is our list of tuple. I call it the joins. So we have this construct that we used for reference, right? So we put the name of the table, the name of the column. So we do that for the starting thing, for the starting table, and for the target table. So with that, we're able to reconstruct what essentially is an inner join, right? So we have the values for the inner join. We have the values for the on, right? So MAST, and then AST ID, and like that makes sense. So we have these values. Now, like all of the other encoding thing, I have a little constant that says what the fuck it is. What's the yap here? Yes, so we have one constant for when it needs to be set. We have one constant when it's just like a get, right? We have the data and we know that it's valid, so you don't need to actually set anything. So we only use it for reference. So we have both. I'll read this because I don't remember what the fuck I wrote. Keep in mind that you don't need to add the OP view set. Okay, yeah, makes sense. We don't need to add it to this command. It's added automatically. It's just for illustration. All right. So that was the first argument. We can list multiple of them, right? We could have MAST container and we could have MAST include if we had a specific construct that would use both. Now the second thing is the actual data. So we have a big tuple, and that tuple contains all of our values. Now we need to think about it a little bit like a get, right? The get, we can put none on the ID and it will just ignore it, and we just give it the other values, none on the ID, and it will be able to search it in the DB and it will be able to set it correctly. Now this is just laid out like we're concatenating all the rows together, right? So we're just taking... Sorry, my brain is fucking freezing right now because I'm thinking about something else that's fucked now. Alright, I'll have to find a solution to this shit, but anyway, who gives a fuck? Okay. So... fucking hell. Alright. So... this is like MAST, right? Because it's the starting thing. So we have the values for MAST. And after that, we have MAST container. That is here. So our system needs to be able to parse this correctly. Okay. Now, it's able to do the same thing as set, so it will auto-find and auto-increment an ID whenever we ask it to set a thing. It doesn't... it should be able to work with reference. So references can be used throughout this shit. They just... the old function doesn't work with them. Fuck, no, that's retarded. Let's remove this. Yeah, that's retarded, sorry. Forget the reference part. We have reference through this, they work. Okay, that's all you need to know. And we also need to have some kind of concat style table thingy that can loop over multiple times the same value because of structs, because of a list of include, because of these kind of things. Okay. Now, what I've already done, what is already implemented, is the table implementation, the table engine for the basics command. I have not implemented the commit yet, and I'm currently doing the DB. Now, there is one problem that I just saw that fucks with my brain right now, and I need to think about it. And it's probably that I've just not thought about it yet. We need to be able to repeat multiple times the same line. So let's think about how we encode things currently. Can I zoom in, please? Okay, thank you. I guess. Alright, so here are our values. Let's just lay them out like this. Now the big issue here, like this works in and of itself. But as soon as we do this, we're kind of cooked. Yeah. Fuck. So we need something to be able to make this possible. So maybe we create a new construct. Okay, maybe I was too minimalistic with my approach. So instead of a big tuple like this, Well, no, maybe I'm not. Fuck, we need a way to show repetition. Maybe we could have a special encoding, right? That we could put at the end of our lines whenever we add some. And this, like, magical concept. Or maybe a class, who gives a fuck, right? So we could put a magical concept at the end. And it would tell us that this line is actually repeated. Yeah, that sounds like an idea. Now the issue here is that as soon as we do that, we're kind of cooking the reference system. But I guess I'll rebake it anyway. Yeah, who gives a fuck? Okay, fuck referencing ASD for now. Anyway, the only thing that we're going to reference is the first value, which is the ID. Okay. What does JMY means? Can't you just repeat? Okay. The issue with repeating. Oh, sorry. I just don't have the full view of the thing. Okay. The issue. It's okay. Everything's art today, I think. But the issue is how we're going to write this, right? So think of a struct. We might not know the length of a struct. So we cannot write something like so we couldn't just copy that over multiple times because this needs to be a standalone thing. This is going to be written by a human, and this is going to be written by Python. So we need some kind of way. Like, I'm not opposed to us maybe like making some script that will repeat this, and then some other script that will be able to parse that the repetition is not retarded. But like, we need to pass along the fact that this line is repeated, and this is processed by our code, while this is written in, hard-coded by the human. So that's kind of the hard thing. Like, can't you just have different function for repeatable value? I could, but it's kind of the goal of the view. Like, I feel like we're missing something if we don't do it at the same place. Like, alright. Maybe what we can do is whenever we process... God damn, is the voice coming back a bit? Okay. Maybe when we process this... Okay, my brain is foggy today. I'll trust that you understand yourself. I think I do. I think. But I have a hard time like having the whole system in my head. So I think that what I'm going to do is whenever it takes this into account, wait a second. Maybe. I think I unfucked it, okay? We don't need these. Maybe we just add a new value here that states how much repetition there is. So if there's only one, it will put 1, right? So we can hard code it for those that we know is always going to be 1. And for those that are repeatable, we can put a variable in that will reference the length of this, right? So maybe that unfucks it. I think it does. I'm trying to find how it would fail. I think we're good. Yep, I think we're good. Let's do this. Alright, let's just edit the thing. Plus value of the tuple represent the amount of okay. Give me a quick second. All right. Let's scale that back. Okay. I'm just trying to think if it messes with anything I've done yet. I don't think it does. Because this code is generic AF. Okay, here we're cutting the join down. Wait, what? This is a bit like my idea of having different function when repeat, but better as we don't have to actually repeat. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. Like my dream here is that each AST have their own like kind of join, and the way that I've actually encoded this inside of the DB and the optimization that we're going to be able to do is that we can store the view based on said join, and then in order to search which like if we have a match, if we have already used this AST, we can just look at the fucking join and divide like the search by 4 trillion and then get right into the right place. So this should make our search way faster, internally at least, and whenever we create the optimization for it. And it actually should be more efficient than using classes, because right now we're only using like the default tuple with very simple numbers to store. So we should also minimize the memory footprint, which is fun. But here I think I'm fucking up. I'm just not sure. Alright, so here the idea of this, well, specifically this, is that whenever we do table name dot column name, whenever we do that, it actually gives us a tuple, and that tuple is GPID colon ID followed by old. So it's a true or false old. Now we don't need this shit, right? We don't need the old. So I'm deleting it, but I think I'm doing it wrong. So the joins, let's just think about this concept. We have the joins, so we have a tuple of a tuple. So right now we're going inside the tuple of the tuple, and so, fuck. Let me think about this. So we have a tuple. Okay. So this is what should be stored inside of joins. Now when we do map joins, we are essentially treating this now. So when we're doing this, we're fucking ourselves up because we're removing this. That's not what we want. We want to remove the internal here. So essentially we need a new map. God damn. Yeah, I need to call her real fucking quick. God damn. That's some bullshit right there. And look at this lambda within a lambda. That's no good. If colref do this type is tuple else all right. Alright, I just want to be sure that I'm not dumb with that type thing. Alright, I'm not dumb. Okay. So this should do it. I might lose the keyboard privilege. Good thing that you said that it was a joke. I was about to question myself if keyboard privilege is a real thing. I can be dumb sometimes. Just sometimes, not always. Alright. Oh wait, this is applied at the wrong level, right? Wait a second. No. Oh, this is perfectly correct. Shut up, Scott. Alright. That's important to note. All my jokes can be not obviously a joke, as they are not funny, rather than me, most of the time. No, they are funny, it's just my brain is overthinking it often. Like I know that I'm doing something a little retarded by chaining two maps with lambda within one another. That's the most Canadian war crime that I've seen. Like I must have some fucking great grandfather, that has thrown some canned food with a nade in it. He would be proud. Alright. We were unhinged. Geneva Programming Convention is needed, true. Or as some call them, the Geneva Suggestions. Alright. So we were finished with that, I think. Okay. Now we only need to do the where part of things. Alright, I'm kind of screwed on that. Can I? I was about to ask for your wealth of experience, but I wanted to test it myself, but I have no fucking clue how. Okay, Houston, we have a problem. Give me a second to collect my thoughts. God damn, it's snowy. Okay. I need your help. So, I'm trying to concatenate multiple results, right? Let's think back. Are you asking the ghost of Whitney? What the fuck? Who the fuck? Which Whitney? Whitney Houston? Okay. I want to make sure that I'm thinking about the right person. Okay, I'm thinking about the right person. And yeah, I'll always love you. Okay. I'm having a bit too much fun. All jokes, forget about it. All good. Serious as the joke. Houston, we have a problem. Didn't she die from a drug overdose? We're talking about drugs now. Alright. So that's the kind of war crime that we're going to be working with. Now, fuck. How do I want to think about this? That's some nice snow. Well, ice. It's coming to UMB. Okay, Quebec's next. Alright. I need to concatenate the repeating keys. That's something that I need to think about. Now, where the fuck was I going? Okay, the issue is that we're going to have multiple where clause. Will this even work? I think we can try it out. Can we do like where and where VID equals 1 and like that's not valid, right? That's retarded. Yeah. Okay. So we probably need to group them together. Like this, I guess. Have I just gotten it? Fuck. I'm a bit confused. Oh, this is okay. Like maybe I'm putting too much wheres. Is this the meme? Oh fuck. Oh. I think I got it. Oh, but, well. Yeah. Thank you. Your text unfucked me. Not directly, but still. Sorry, I forgot to mute the stream. You know what I really need? I need to set my scroll lock to be a mute. It would be very cool. Today I had to reinstall an old kernel because I updated yesterday and the camera doesn't work on the new kernel. So I'm kind of screwed. Cannot update my kernel anymore. And I think it's because it's a function that they removed. So maybe we'll have to do like a week of kernel recovery, patch creating, bullshit. Alright. So this actually makes a lot of sense for us. It should actually help us a lot. But, whoa. Here's the issue. Like, here I put or, but technically, if both don't exist, I don't want any result back. Oh shit, what happened? No! Fuck you. Hey. Okay. Can this be and still work? Or am I missing something? Yeah, it won't work. Yeah, that's my experience too. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna need your help on this one. Like, okay. Who the fuck is spamming me? Oh, is my daughter about to die? Okay, my daughter is alive. Thank you, MB, for all your good work. Do not stress the computer booting. Daughter dying is bad indeed. Do you want to see a meme? I've got the best fucking memes. How do you know that an executive is going to kill themselves? Update daughter with new antibodies. So you know that your executives is going to kill themselves when they have this kind of results. Bro, what the fuck? So in 3 days, they got minus 64% of the value of the company has been fucked. Good job, Chief. Good job. I looked into it. It made me laugh a bit. They were accused of fucking around with the numbers and lying about their loans because it's go easy, right? It's the people that lend to low credit rating, high risk people. Go easy. So they have like an housing division. If we write go easy, they have multiple things. So can we have the... Oh yeah, okay. Easy home, easy financial, land care. So they offer like shitty loans at high interest rate to people that are clearly are most likely not going to give the money back. And yeah, they were accused of fudging around the numbers for their quarterly presentations. And he said the CFO, chief financial officer, came out and was like, brother, that's all bullshit. We're clean as fuck. There's no issue here. And yesterday, they came out and said, yeah, there's like a missing $44 million. So, yeah, we kind of have to do an adjustment. There's just a missing 44. And yeah, by the way, the chief financial officer has resigned. That's the best fucking communication I've seen in a while. That's wild. So, yeah, they're kind of screwed because they were already under a lot of pressure from their own, like, lending. Because they need to have money in the first place before lending it, of course. So right now they're getting trounced. But hey, that was a good meme. That's a pretty good meme. Yeah. No, my other picks are doing pretty good. Well, I was not invested in Go Easy, don't worry, okay? Just on watch, just in case. But yeah, GFL took a shit, but I don't care. That is really bad. It's never a good idea to judge a number. Better have contract recursion like AI. What is that? Video company video card did. Oh, do you mean like the contracts between Nvidia's and the different like AI data center? I'm confused about your sentence. Mm. But financially, I'm doing great. TD has been taking a shit lately, but we're coming back. We're coming back. And of course, the Canadian economy did not like the fact that Trump fucking single-handedly doubled inflation all across the world. Nvidia, LLM companies, and all other that just value each other at a high value and make contract exchanging shares. Yeah, I don't know how much I care about those. I feel like that each time that I actually look into, because a lot of people are panicking about this, right? They're all like, "Oh my god, Nvidia is like giving away production and then taking it back and making contracts and shit, and that's magically bad." But each time that I actually check the logic of it, it always fucking makes sense. It's always not excessive. And like for people that are scared about the AI bubble, I mean, I feel like it's a little bit of a thing that everyone knows about. So nobody's really scared about it, right? Or like Google is being reasonable in their AI spending. Meta is being reasonable. Amazon is being reasonable. Everybody's being reasonable. Like maybe the argument could be there for OpenAI that they're fucking unhinged. But, and I think Oracle, their financial and like their situation is kind of fucked too. But for all others, I find it a bit. I feel like we're crying wolf. God damn, that's intense. Anyway, back to serious shit. Unless you have something to say, I like to entertain everything. Alright. So here's my issue. So the thing that we need, right? The result that we need is something like this. Like this is the output that I want. But the issue is that here we have OR. Fuck. That means that let's say that I put an FNID that doesn't make sense here. Right? Let's say that I put that FNID. Then it's going to give me that result. And that doesn't make sense. I don't want that. I want null. If we get that back, I want null. There must be a way to do this within SQL. Other drawing. Alright. Get me the fuck in. Oh, okay. That's the argument. How Nvidia and OpenAI fuel the AI money machine. Yes, but the question here is this retarded? Right? Like, let's say that this whole system, this whole like transfer was transferring $1 million total. We wouldn't give a shit. And now I'm looking at the values and they don't seem that out of the blue. So for example, maybe the share part here, like I don't know, it depends how the contract is laid out. Like if it's progressive, that the more, how could I say that? The more AMD gives to OpenAI, the more they get parts of these 160 million share, with which it would have to be that way. It would be retarded any other way. Like it just makes sense. And like 100 billion in OpenAI, that's over how much time, right? That's the real question here. Because Nvidia is fucking massive. 4.5 trillion. That's massive. And it's growing. So them investing like these massive amounts, that makes sense. It just does. So like the fact that they're doing all of these ventures and trying to establish some kind of, how could I say it, stable market for something that is inherently unstable. Like we're going so much forward. Like this is the frontier of computing. Everything could be made or lost within like a couple of fuck ups or a couple of good ideas. So making this more distributed system where instead of having Nvidia old fucking everything, or Microsoft or OpenAI, having this more distributed kind of thing maybe mitigates the risk of, well, especially the risk of Nvidia and Microsoft especially, and AMD. Like these companies, AMD, Nvidia, and Microsoft, are more balanced. They make sense. They have good basis. But a company like CoreWeaves, that, like, if I'm not mistaken, CoreWeaves, their job is literally just to be a giga-ass data center and have, like, AI computing. Like, this is retarded. This is a retarded business model. So, putting the retarded business model in the box feels like a good idea to me. Like, that's why I think that OpenAI is somewhat retarded, and links to OpenAI are kind of retarded. And why Oracle itself is a little retarded. It's because they put everything on the fucking line, but they don't have anything to show for it, right? The only thing Oracle has is computing. The only thing OpenAI has is the fact that they were the one that made ChatGPT. The rest is fucking wind. So like these two, I would say to you, if there's a bubble, they are the bubble. But everybody else in this, I feel that they're doing a fair job of trying to make things correctly. Like how as an investor, if I was investing in Nvidia, I would want them to do that. This sounds like a fair good way to do it. The same money goes around. All companies increase value for all of them. Yes and no, right? Because you can only do that so often. Like something that people I think overlook is that Oracle, I don't remember the timeline because it's been some time that I don't really follow American company closely. But Oracle like did this a couple of times where they were like, we partner with OpenAI for that amount of billions. We partner with them for that amount of billions. And they were all like clearly fucked contracts. Like contracts of, we hope that you buy our compute someday. And the market punished them for it. The market literally at the announcement of these type of contracts was slashing down the valuation of Oracle like 8% down the fucking drain. So I feel that most people, they see whenever it's a fair thing to do. Like I think that creating CoreWeaves is a fair thing to do. Creating like these in the middle entities that holds most of the risk. That makes sense. But they also see when it's just bullshit. And also, people need to realize that sometime doing these kind of deals just increases liquidity a lot in the market, and it makes everybody richer. Like literally, I'm not talking about just stocks going up, but like we're able to do more projects because we're doing these type of shits. So anyway, I like, if the transfer here were like $1 trillion cloud deal from a company, like, first of all, this is the most retarded thing on this chart. Can we just agree this is dumb? But like, if we remove OpenAI and Oracle, I don't know. Let me just read from the start. Can also be used. I guess we'll get back to this someday. The same money goes around all companies, including OpenAI, sends 200 billion and sends billion. Yes, but that's not what this is, right? So, okay. Like, these contracts are not... Okay. These contracts, to my knowledge, essentially never talk about money themselves. Like, yes, there is the big 300 billion, but it's not... Like, everybody understands that we're not really talking about 300 billion. We're talking about, you give me compute, I give you stocks, or it's these kinds of relationship that we're talking about, which in a stable market everybody benefits in, because you don't really have to deploy all of those millions of dollars and billions of dollars that like are hard to have in a market where liquidity can be complicated. So like saying they send 300 billion, like, that's not true, right? I'm not saying that you're lying. I'm just saying that construction is not what's happening. Like, it's a contract to do something, but I'm sure if we look into it, it's going to be like, we're paying half in shares, we're paying the other half in real money, and it's over 10 fucking years, and it's fucking retarded, and it's never going to happen. And that deal is the most retarded on it. And if we look at the other, it probably makes way more sense. All companies now have billions of contract and increased valuation. But money didn't move. Okay, it's the same money moving around. Yeah, I think that's a misconception. I don't think that in reality, there's about no money being transferred. It's just promise of sending compute and sending chips. The idea of partnering is not bad. What is bad is how they present the contracts as money as new money all the time. Somebody will have to pay at one time. I don't think that they present it as that. I think people are misconstruing this as that. Like, okay, again, when I'm talking, I'm removing Oracle and OpenAI because those are butt committed, right? They went all in, and they have like, well, we don't, to be honest, we don't fucking know what cards they have, but I'm assuming that they have like a pair of queens, right? It's not that strong, but it's not pure fucking garbage. So with their pair of queens, like, you look at that and you're like, that's kind of a ballsy all-in, brother. You don't know what the fuck's on the table. So like, I would say that these two are bad, and the rest of the market is being reasonable. And from what I've heard, I don't see Nvidia, I don't see Microsoft representing this as like money. No, they represent this as, we made a deal over that many years, we're going to give this, they're going to give us that. That's fair. Anyway, that is the money side of things. In the end, we get advanced in LLM technology. I would agree with that. Look at the share value increase following announcement. Investor thinks that is money. It depends what you're talking about, right? Because like I said, with Oracle that's doing retarded shit, it hit them. It fucked them. But with the others, like the others are doing reasonable thing. So you can say the investor think it's money, but if I were to phrase it, I would say the investor knows that, let's say CoreWeave's making a deal with Nvidia saying we're going to buy that amount of GPU is technically guaranteed money if CoreWeave's stays alive. And if you buy into this whole system, you believe that CoreWeave's is going to stay alive. So like from their view, it just fucking makes sense. But like if tomorrow CoreWeave's was to say we're going to put fucking 1 trillion on the table, everybody would look at this and be like, this is fucked. And everybody would get a hit. There is money, share, and compute in exchange for GPU exclusivity most of the time. There is some amount of money, right? Of course, at the end of the day, there's going to always be some amount of money. I think that okay, there's a lot of media right now ascribing ill intent over things that are just business and that have always been business, right? Well, technically it was not to my name, but I've had a couple of years of running a small business, and you're going to do these type of contracts with other businesses, like at your level, of course. You're going to say, hey, you do locks? Well, come fucking repair my fucking locks, and I'll repair your fucking computer. And that's the deal, right? And it's just a way smaller scale of whatever the fuck they're doing. We will see eventually all about that. Let's get back to code. Fair. I think we have a different construction of a lot of that, but I'm sure that we agree at the base. You're not on Hinge, okay? I don't believe that you're a retard. There are some people that are fully retarded, though. Not going to name names. Alright, let's go back to code. 999 or real value. Yeah, but that would fail. Right, let's test. Let's test what you just wrote. If I do that, what I want to come out of this is none, right? I should have a none here. Maybe I didn't hit it enough, sorry. Like here I should have a none, but I don't. So how the fuck do I resolve this? Because I need both the FNIDs to be true somewhere in that query. So like if we go back to the infinite and, okay, I think I'm explaining myself very badly. Maybe it's just because of how things are written. Okay. So what I'm searching is a command where it's okay, I'm explaining this like shit. Is I should be able to say, I want to search within the table for a specific ID that has these two values as true, right? So think about it. Let's say maybe it's retarded because FNID is maybe this would be... Yeah, maybe this would be a better example here. Fuck. Yes, but here's the issue. If I do and, it's going to give me more values than what I ask for. So here, let's put ands everywhere, okay? Oops. Okay. So here we have none, right? But we do have something at FNID1 that has one row for VID1 and one row for VID2. This construct exists. We have a specific FID with these two values being true. So how do I find the FID? I guess that I maybe what I should write is this, right? How do I find the FID with this value that is true and this value that is true on two different rows? So you want a row with FNID equals 1 and VID equals 1 and 2, both. Okay, let me show you the whole table. Maybe it will make sense. So look, we have FNID1, which let's think about it as if it's our ID, okay, our main ID. So let's say that I want what is at FNID1 and VID1 with this value, and it needs to also have this value, right? Those two needs to be true in order for me to get this. Let's say that we are in a different world and this one is deleted, like this one doesn't exist, then I would want it to return none. I require those two things here to exist. I understand that's my issue here, right? My issue is that I need two separate checks to happen, and I don't know how to do that correctly. You will need a sub-select, right? I have no fucking clue how to go about it. And it feels... I'm not ragging on you, okay? It feels like we're overthinking it. I cannot believe that the only solution to this is to sub-select the fuck out of it. It feels just... like this is a problem that somebody else has. You know what? We're kind of dumb. Let's ask AI. Yeah, let's go. Hi, I have a MySQL database with... Yeah, AI is smarter than both of us combined today. MySQL database with multiple tables. Here is the construction of two of them. Isn't that a thing that I can have somewhere? I probably fucked something up. Oh, who cares? I can just dump it, and because there's nothing in it. Oh, that's so good. Um, let's give AI a fuck ton to work with. Its brain might hallucinate less than mine. That's a funny one. Give me a second. Keep in mind that multiple rows in M here. My question is, how do I make a select statement that ensures that finds the AST ID that contains specific. What the fuck? Fuck. Fuck. Or giving it a fucking complex one. If it's able to answer, I'll be so proud of AI. Fucking hell. Stop fucking me. Okay, this should be precise. You know what? I'll take the moment to go pee for the 15th time. I'll be back. Alright. Okay. This is a classic SQL challenge known as relational division because you need to match a single parent row MAST against multiple distinct child rows MAST containers. A simple join and condition won't work. A single row cannot simultaneously have priority 1 and 2. To solve this, you have a few excellent options depending on your preference. God damn, it's hell outside, and how your application builds queries. Here are the most effective ways to do it. Multiple joins. Self-joining the child table. This is often the most straightforward and best performing method if you know exactly how many child rows you are looking for. You simply join the MAST table to the parent table once for every specific row you need to find. Oh, that would be fucking genius. I think that would be good. Oh, god damn. We don't have a brain today. This was obvious. Yeah, I'll look at the other two. But right now, it feels like we're sharing one brain cell. Exists subquery. We'll take a look. Because this looks... this looks good to me. Self-references are a pain to maintain. I don't know how they would be a pain to maintain, considering that they would be like automatically generated. And like when we're talking about pain to maintain, technically, once we put something in the DB, it never gets edited. Like MAST is there, like when you stamp something there, we never change it. It never moves again. That part of the DB is meant for that. So I think that's why I'm a little bit less stressed about managing anything there. Why it works. It forces the database to find an ASTID that has a relationship with a row matching C1's criteria and relationship matching a row. Alright, that makes sense to me. What is? What if you need more row? No, it doesn't need to, right? Because right now you're assuming that I'm writing the query. I'm not. Our, well, we could call it driver, but our DB handling is, right? DB handling will be able to say, hey buddy, instead of fucking inner joining until the end of the earth, well, technically we could still inner join, but would we? I don't know, we would need to check. But like we just have to write the joining thing and the loopy thing and we're done. It's fairly trivial to implement in this. Yeah, I'll look at it. Don't worry. I'm just answering, okay? Or not. You don't believe it's trivial. Okay, I got it. You don't believe in it. You don't believe in it. That's okay. You believe in the exist subquery. Is there a third method? Okay. Oh, yeah, there is one. Wow. I've used both. All right. And you prefer the exist. If you are dynamically building this query in your backend code, using exist is incredibly clean. That's okay. That's why. Now I see why. Like even the AI is fucking glazing this one. It also prevents duplicate result bleeding into your query. But if we have a duplicate result, it means that the DB is trash and needs to be removed. Okay, anyway. So at least this perk is not important to us. Okay, select ASC. Okay. It does work. If you want to avoid, let's look at method 3. If you want to avoid multiple joins, access block, especially if you might be searching for 5 or 10 rows at once. Okay, that's fucking retarded. Okay, that's the dumbest shit I've seen. Alright, which one do I actually want? To be honest, to me, the only thing I care about is speed at this point. Yeah, I like it because it literally fits my construction of the shit in my mind. But I get how this works. Right? So like for instance, if institution and result or something. I guess we'll need to test whenever we have a bunch of shit in the DB. So for now, I'll use this one because it fits my brain. Alright. Oh boy. This is going to be a piece of work. Huh. I think I'll call it a day. I won't be able to process this in my mind. But we're close to it. I'll just go back and check Gemini next time. And we'll implement this. Ask LLM about speed. The LLM seems to be saying that it's multiple joins, but from the little search we've done, it seems that it depends, so it's worth less to waste our time. We'll implement this tomorrow, or maybe I'll do it tonight, but I won't stream it if I do it tonight. It depends. I don't know. I gotta go repair my dishwasher again because it's some fucking how leaking. 2 days ago, I was sick as hell through the night, and I hear beeper, 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 beep, like again and again. And dishwashers are equipped with little sensors that tell you, I'm leaking, bitch. Come and save me. So I went and saved it. And I have no clue where the leak is. Like, it's not something that is not like, how can I say that? It's none of the pipes. So like, that was my first guess. Now, my next guess right now that I'll test would be the seal of the door. So I think I'll remove the seal, I'll clean it real good, I'll place it back, and I'll try. At least that's what, if I remember correctly, I have a Maytag. My Maytag says do this in their manual. So, I mean, I'll listen to them. But it seems to be leaking like from the lower door. God damn. Bitch, the tree fucking slammed on my house. I have the biggest tree in my street. The one I had leaked from the main back. Oh, god damn. That's a bad thing. I don't think it is, because when I started, like at the start of the cycle, it started here a few minutes ago, yeah. When I start the cycle, it doesn't leak. It waits like later on, which is like how? And like all of the obvious shit. I don't know, I'm just confused. It seems to wait until the heat is on, which is why? How? So that's why I'm guessing with the seal. Maybe there's something stuck that I haven't seen. But hey, I'll go fight with that and make sure that the tree doesn't fucking fall on my house, because I need this fucking house to stay okay. That would be a bad day. So either recirculated bomb or drain pipe. That would have been like my thought, but it truly comes from the front of the unit. Like, it doesn't come from, like, that was my scary part. But both the drain pipe and the recirculation pump were working while I looked at it while being sick and triggered, and they were okay. So what the fuck? Where does it come from? Anyway, probably seal of the door. I'll give you an update tomorrow, alright? I'll give you an update on that. Have a good rest of your day, and try feeling good, alright? Try feeling good. Tomorrow we're fixing this. And hopefully this will be back. Dishwasher fixing stream? That would be funny. I mean, in a world where this is my job, I would do some dumb freaking streams. I would. But here, I need to chill. Alright. Love you. We're speaking probably tomorrow, if you're there. If not, I'll see you when I see you. Love you, man. Bye-bye.